Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gridiron Network. This week, NFL Week 2 in the books. We're moving on to Week 3. We've got some overreactions or reality, some hot takes, recaps, pick ems, and then we're getting into some breaking injury news. We've got a lot to talk about this week. Harry, how are we feeling?
Oh man, we're feeling fantastic after some good NFL games, man. We had some shootouts in week 3. Danny Dimes, still that guy, and man, I cannot wait to get into some of these games with you.
All right, so we're going to kick things off with overreactions or reality. Do you want to start off first?
Yeah, man. I'll give you my first one. So for my first overreactions or reality, and this one, I'll be honest. When we first started this podcast, I thought differently, but Jalen Hurts is not a top 5 quarterback. So now, where I lean on that, honestly, I really do think that is reality now because, dude, he is just. I know they're 2-0, but he's just terrible, man. Now, let me just get into some stats here. So, through 2 games, he has 34 completions, 253 passing yards, and 0 touchdowns. 0 passing touchdowns. Mac Jones just threw for more than that in 1 game. All it took was Mac Jones 1 game to get more than his passing yards. They win, so I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what his stats were. I don't know if you saw the clip of Chris Jones talking crap to him, and Jalen was right. He got the win. But just, I think it's very, very hard to say that he is a top 5 guy like I first believed, and I'm pretty sure we both believe this. And It's just, when you have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith as your top 2 receivers, and they have a combined total of 13 catches for 104 yards, something the quarterback is doing is just not working. And I really think if you to take a look at all this and say he's a top 5 guy, I think now it's just crazy to me.
So I agree that it is reality. I think he's probably number 7 on my list at the moment. And that list is going to fluctuate all season long. You know, I don't even have an actual list in front of me just off my head. I would probably put him at 7. So I agree that it's reality that he's not top 5 anymore. But to play devil's advocate, one thing that I do have to say is at the end of the day, winning matters. But I also saw a stat today that said on this, I believe it's a 16-game or 17-game winning streak, something like that for the Eagles. Jalen Hurts, even though he's not throwing for a ton of yards, the thing that's mattering most is wins, and his turnover ratio is, I think it was 39 touchdowns to 4 turnovers. That's an incredible ratio. No matter how you're getting those touchdowns, touchdowns lead to points, points lead to wins, right?
Yep.
So at the end of the day, he's doing what's asked of him in Philadelphia, and I can't blame him for that, but I also can't applaud him for that and put him top 5 anymore when I'm seeing guys like Stafford and Herbert.
Yeah, no, I mean, like we both just said, at the end of the day, they're winning these games, so it doesn't matter what his stats look like. I'm pretty sure he even said the same thing. As long as he's winning, it doesn't matter what his box score looks like. But it's just, man, I was really, really convinced. I was really holding it down because I like Jalen Hurts a lot, but he is just not showing it from his skill set so far.
I really thought he was going to take a huge leap this year passing wise.
Yeah.
And that's just not happened. And I do have to say I don't know his name off the top of my head, but I'm not going to put all of that on Jalen Hurts because I think a huge I'd probably put 80% of the blame on that is on their new offensive coordinator. Jalen Hurts has had a new offensic coordinator every season because every year the Eagles offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator both get taken for head coaching jobs. So
Yep.
at the end of the day, he's having to learn a ton of different offenses, and this is really reminiscent of that Brian Johnson Eagles offense. It's just not productive enough, right? And I think this guy needs to get it together or maybe hand the reins to someone else for play calling.
Yeah, man, it's just like it's only been 2 weeks, so there's a lot to change. It's just, if you were to ask anybody right this second, is Jalen Hurts a top 5 quarterback in the league? I just don't see how you say yes, man. And it's just, I don't know. Hopefully you can, maybe throw some touchdowns. That'd be cool, but we just haven't seen it so far. So let's get into one of your overreactions or reality.
So we're going to stick with the same theme here of the Philadelphia Eagles. So overreactions or reality, the Chiefs or the Eagles will not make the Super Bowl this season. And I think that's a complete overreaction to say that they don't have a shot at making the Super Bowl just because they haven't looked the same through 2 weeks, right? The Eagles, even though, again, just like we were talking about with wins, right? Even though they're not looking the prettiest offensively, they're getting the wins at the end of the day. With the Chiefs, they're not getting the wins, but I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. And I know we kind of talked about the same thing last week with one of the hot takes that they won't make the playoffs. But I think just when as soon as that playoff weekend hits, it's like a switch flips in both Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, and they turn into gods.
Yeah.
So I won't bet against either of these guys, and I think that's an overreaction to say that they don't have a chance at making the Super Bowl.
I think you said that perfectly, because whenever these playoffs do start, anything you did for the last 17 weeks just goes completely out of the window. And it's just, man, I would say, yeah, definitely an overreaction, I think, just because this Eagles roster, offense and defense, is honestly, I still believe, maybe the best one in the league, if not one of the top 2 or 3 in the league. And it's just, I said it last week, and I'm not going to change. If Mahomes can get in the playoffs, I don't care if he's a wild card team, he can get that team to the Super Bowl. And you don't want to look at it too closely now, because they don't have Xavier Worthy. I think he's coming back this week. Rashee Rice is still out. Wow, speaking of that, real quick, Rashee Rice, did you see them wearing free 4 shirts before their
I'm sorry, that made no sense.
Dude,
what are we freeing him from?
Yeah,
from his own,
dude,
being an idiot? Like,
no, I just right when I said his name, I just thought of that. I thought that was crazy to me. But it's just like I'm saying, just they're not even full strength. They have 0 run game as of right now, and I mean, like we said, there's still 16 more weeks until the playoffs, so I'm sure they will figure it out. But man, if to say they won't make the Super Bowl when we have arguably the best quarterback and then one of the best teams, top to bottom roster wise, I think that's a pretty big overreaction.
Agreed, man. What's your next one?
Oh man, all right. Do I want to get you mad yet? All right, let's go into it. Overreaction or reality number 2: the Bears once again are going to have a top 5 pick. Now, let me talk about it a little bit. Dude, it's just, after that horrible loss to the Vikings week 1, when J.J. McCarthy basically looked like a JV quarterback for 3 quarters, and honestly, we talked about it last week, the Bears dominated that. It felt like they dominated that game. And then the 4th quarter came, completely collapsed. So 0-1 already, and man, they just got embarrassed, man. The Lions just put up a 50-burger on them. They look so lost. And the only bright spot on offense that I've been seeing, Rome Odunze, which I don't know if it was episode 1 or 2, but I believe this guy said that he will be their top fantasy option when it's all said and done. And so far, it's looking pretty good, like he's Caleb Williams' wide receiver 1. And it's just, speaking of Caleb Williams, man, I feel like I just repeat everything I said last week. He just hasn't looked good, man. He just doesn't look like the quarterback they need for this offense, and they still have a very tough schedule this season, and I just don't think that Caleb Williams is going to be good enough to lead them over some of these great teams they face.
So you're saying that's reality then, right? That we're going to have a top 5 pick?
Yeah, I think so, man. I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to say overreaction. Now that doesn't mean I think we're making the playoffs, because I think after an 0-2 start, it's so hard to make the playoffs after going 0-2. But hey, there's 17 games for a reason. Anything can happen, blah, 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 blah. But I do have to say, I don't think that the marriage between Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams is perfect. I think Ben Johnson likes a guy who plays in structure. Caleb likes to play out of structure. But we've seen some weird marriages work before, right?
Yep.
We might see this work. It's only 2 games at the end of the day. It's only been 2 games, and even though he's not playing great, I saw some strides from week 1 to week 2 in terms of his game. He wasn't missing as many throws. He had a stupid pick, but outside of that stupid pick, I thought he played okay. He didn't play great. He didn't play like a number 1 overall pick, but he's getting better. So because he's getting better, I'm going to pump the brakes, patience as well. So not only is this game number 2 for Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, when you think about it, Caleb Williams has had 4 different play callers, 4 different offensive coordinators in 19 games in the NFL. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Right? That's
crazy.
That's
to
a
do
lot
to
to ask
a young
of a guy.
Yeah.
And that's the Chicago specialty right there. That's what we do. We like to make it as difficult as possible, and that's why no quarterbacks succeed here. So I'm not giving up on Caleb Williams. I think it's possible we finish the season right around between 7 and 9 wins, somewhere in that range. I don't think we get a top 5 pick, though.
Now, I do have to ask, your leash on Caleb. If we keep seeing this, just he's improving a little bit, but it's just not enough for what he was supposed to be. How long do you think he could be or will be the quarterback of this team?
So I think it's different from Justin Fields. We gave Justin Fields 3 seasons, and I think Caleb Williams has this season, man. Yeah. I'm going to fully back and support him this entire year, no matter what happens, no matter how bad we look. I think there's no reason for you to start Tyson Bagent. I can't believe the amount of Tyson Bagent supporters there are. He's not an NFL starting quarterback. He's a good backup. Don't get me wrong. I like Tyson Bagent for being a backup. But let Caleb play the whole year no matter what happens. But if what you said is true and we end up with a top 5 pick, man, I'm all on that Nuss bus. I want Garrett Nussmeier. I think he is the real deal, man. I want Nussmeier if that is the case. But I'm backing Caleb Williams. Just making that very, very clear. Dude, that even though I love Garrett Nussmeier and I'd like him, I am backing our quarterback.
I think it's crazy that people are calling for him to be benched already. I just think...
What is that going to do different?
Respectfully, I don't think they know ball if they are already saying, hey, let's bench Caleb Williams at week 2. It's just, what is your ceiling with Tyson compared to Caleb? It's just, it makes no sense to me.
I mean, to me, 2 things can be true at the same time. Caleb Williams hasn't looked great, but Caleb Williams is the starting quarterback of this team and should be. Yep. Just because he hasn't looked great, he's showing signs of improvement, like we said. It's just not... His ceiling is 100,000 times higher than that of a guy like Tyson Bagent.
Not even relatively close.
Like, it's not in the same realm of possibility. There's just no... It makes 0 sense to start Tyson Bagent. And honestly, the only people that are calling for that are people who just don't like Caleb Williams because he paints his nails and acts a little feminine, all right?
Hey, man, I don't care how my quarterback acts. I just need to see him throw
as long as he can throw the football.
No, seriously. And dude, I want to hear so we were talking about some division rivals. I'm pretty sure you got one about one of these Vikings.
So, all right, I have 2 about division rivals. We'll start with the Vikings one. So, overreactions or reality, number 2 for me, the Vikings have a J.J. McCarthy problem. I think this is reality, man. I think that J.J. McCarthy is just not going to be a great NFL quarterback. I'm sorry. J.J. McCarthy, to me, is a guy that's going to be very limited. I think if Kevin O'Connell can't make you look great, you have a very, very small chance at being a good NFL quarterback. I think that this Sunday, this Sunday or whatever day they play, Carson Wentz is going to go in there. Who do they play again? It's the Bengals, and I think
that's
they're going to handle
2
business, man.
That's what he's doing.
I think Carson Wentz is going to go back there, turn back that clock a little bit, and look like a competent quarterback again. And I think it's gonna be very reminiscent of last season when Sam Darnold came in and Viking fans were calling their season over. They said it was over. Sam Darnold's playing, and I think it's gonna be very similar to that. And I don't know. I think we might see this J.J. McCarthy injury, quote unquote injury that's going on, be quite a lot longer injury than it actually is if Carson Wentz plays well. But one thing that I wanted to point out that was ever so clear this past weekend in their loss on Sunday night against the Falcons is in the whole pre-draft process, all throughout college, everyone's biggest complaint against J.J. McCarthy is he can't throw to his left, man.
Oh, I'm so happy you brought that up. I'm so happy you brought that up.
It's something just, I don't know if it's a mental thing, if it's, a skill thing or just, technique, what it is, but something doesn't click when he throws to his left.
You see
college,
the chart?
So not counting. So I did, but not counting his 2 NFL starts at Michigan, when he threw to the right or middle of the field, he had through the right, it was a 56.2% completion percentage, and when he would go to his left, that dropped all the way down to 42%. That is a drastic drop,
Anthony
man.
Richardson.
And then And then when you look at that chart, like you just mentioned from the Falcons game, I think he completed one pass, and like the other 15 passes were attempted to the right side of the field.
Dude, man, I'm iffy on it. I'll be honest. It's just I really do think it's still very early, but
Yes,
quote unquote, this injury. If Wentz looks good, which, like I said, I do not be surprised if Wentz goes for throwing 250 yards and a couple touchdowns here. It's just the weapons that they have. JJ has still looked horrible other than one quarter. You have arguably the best wide receiver in the league, and it's just, you just can't throw the ball, man. It's just how it worked in college. I don't think, I mean, like you said, it's KOC, man. If KOC can't figure it out, I don't know.
He's the QB whisperer.
Dude, I don't know who else could. And just from what we've seen, 80s look terrible, man. So for right now, I would say that is reality, because I really do think this team is going to look better with Carson Wentz. And it's just, I think JJ might just want to sit back and just watch a little more.
I do have to say, with Carson Wentz, at the end of the day, one thing he's going to do, like you said, that JJ's just not doing, is he's going to get that ball to Justin Jefferson one way or another, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, he's arguably the best receiver in football. I still think he's better than Jamar Chase. And I just think JJ's inability to get him the football is just not, how are you not doing that with a guy who gets open so easily? So yeah, I just think they're going to look quite a bit better with Carson Wentz. And like you said, maybe JJ just needs to learn more. I'm not saying he's a complete bust.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he's played 2 games in the NFL. That'd be ridiculous to say. But I do think they have a bit of a problem, and maybe he's a bit more of a project than they first thought.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like you said, you just literally get the ball to Justin Jefferson. I mean, I don't know if he needs to go watch some Kirk Cousins tape, because, man, that guy would just spam Jefferson. And honestly, I really don't know. If you're a quarterback in that team or on that team, why wouldn't you just spam Jefferson?
Exactly.
I mean, it's just Jefferson for now. Naylor's been doing good though, but I think Addison is only out this last week, and then he'll be there week 4.
Yeah.
So I mean, that'll be nice, but I honestly don't know when we're gonna see JJ next. I don't think this is a thing where he's quote unquote healed and he's thrown right back in.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Speaking of some quarterbacks here. So, my last overreaction or reality, the Colts are legit, and man, am I glad to say that. You heard me talking last week. This was the test. This was the test that we needed to see, because Miami, dude, are they going to fire their coach in like the next 2 weeks if they keep losing? Because they look horrible, man. And it's just, Daniel Jones tore that defense up, and then we came against the big bad Broncos, and Daniel Jones, once again, he's that guy, man. Through 2 weeks of the NFL season so far, he has put up a 71% completion percentage, 588 passing yards with 2 passing touchdowns, as well as 3 rushing touchdowns. I don't know if you have JT in any leagues, but man, does he keep vulturing these touchdowns on the one. But I don't care, man. As long as we keep winning the games, this is just some of the best football that we've seen Danny Dimes play, and we have the weapons for this to continue. I'll say it every week on this show. Thank you, Ryan Poles, for passing up on Tyler Warren, because Tyler Warren is a dog. Loveland, dude, what are they doing, man? How do you draft a tight end that high and then not use him at all? Very confusing to me. But Daniel Jones loves Tyler Warren, and this is what I want to talk about. I pulled these stats from PFF. Pat Surtain versus the Colts. He was targeted 9 times. We caught 7 of those. 63 yards. His coverage grade, 38.2. That was 99th of 111 cornerbacks. We just made this defensive player of the year look like a bum. And man, Spencer Schrader. Hey, you think it was leverage or not? What's your take on that?
No.
Dude, come on. He held him down for his buddy to get... Okay, I think...
I hate that penalty.
Here's my thing with that
I think
call.
it's so dumb.
They need to be consistent with that. Because
I think
the call...
It's like the tush push, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. We'll get into that. We'll get into that. but I think a 60-yard field goal that was shanked to the right, then you call it then? Hey, exactly. I'll take it. We won the game, man. We won the game. I'll take it. But, I mean, honestly, I would still really be impressed even if we did lose that game because our offense looked very good against an elite defense.
Now, see, you're not going to like my take.
That's okay. That's okay.
So you said Danny Dimes is legit was your overreaction to reality, right? That was the word did you use there?
I said the Colts, but it was mainly
Colts.
Yes.
Okay. So I think it's an overreaction. And the reason that I'm saying this is they've looked good through 2 weeks. Don't get me wrong, right? But to me, while week 2 was certainly a test, week 3 is the bigger test to me. It's a divisional opponent. You're on the road, and as of right now, even though they're looking good, this team reminds me in a way of last year's Saints team.
Don't say, oh my gosh, I've been seeing that
through the first 2 weeks. Through the first 2 weeks of last year, the Saints looked like complete animals, dropping 40 back to back. I mean, the Colts dropped 33 and 29. I mean, if they play good this week, I will change it to reality. The Colts are legit and they're winning the South, right? But I need to see one more week, and I don't know, man. I can't call it yet. I think I just can't. I can't call it yet.
Here's my thing with that. Because I've been I already got somebody's tweet bookmarked that said that. Because I'm coming back to that because we just have so many good weapons compared to what those Saints have. And I don't think it's the same personally. I can see the comparison. And you said that this week is the test. Dude, I'll be honest. We're going to not kill them. Easy win. I'm not even lying. Bro.
Really?
We own the Titans. Ooh. Our all-time series against them, we're 39 and 22, man. Yes, they did beat us in a postseason one time, but we kill them every time.
We'll get into that more.
Yes. We'll get into that
Pick Ems later, of course.
But I do want to talk. So I was looking at their schedule here. Let's see. So we're 2-0. Our next 4 games. Titans, personally, I think that's a win. The Rams. That's going to be a game. I can't say for sure I think they win that. The Raiders, the Raiders defense has been solid. They haven't really been shutting down the run. So that'll be a real Danny Dimes test that week. And then the Cardinals, man. I just really think that there's a decent shot that we can start with, go through all those, maybe only losing 2 of those. I'm just, hey, man, this is the most excited I've been for a team in a long time, man. So I'm going to keep talking about them. But, well, yeah, we'll get into more of the Titans. But I was just very, very impressed at what we saw against the Denver defense.
So you brought up your schedule, and one thing I want to point out is the back half of your schedule is not very favorable.
No.
That is a rough stretch for you guys. I mean, so Chargers, Titans, Steelers, Falcons, Chiefs, Texans, Jaguars, Seahawks, 49ers, Jaguars, Texans. So a lot of divisional games and then a lot of tough games in there, man. So I think it's going to be hard, especially in that back half of the year for you guys. If you pass my test of week 3,
mm-hmm.
I know they passed your test, but yeah, man,
it's going to be,
I think it's going to be tough.
Yeah. I'll be honest. This might come back to hurt me. I'm really not worried about next week. I really do think since we did end up beating Denver, I think the boys are realizing, like, oh crap, man, we can do this. And I'm not worried about Cam Ward next week. I think we were banged up this week too. Our cornerbacks, 2 of them were out. Jalen Johnson and Ward were both out, and Latu was out as well. And we still did very solid. I'll take it with what we had going on injury wise, and it's just I can't see Cam Ward magically turning insane against us, to be honest.
All right, and again, we'll talk about that a little more later. So I'm going to get into my last overreactions or reality, number 3 for me. The Lions offense will be fine without Ben Johnson. I think this is an overreaction. I personally think they're going to be good, but I don't think they're going to be what they were. I think it's so hard to say that. I've seen it everywhere. They dropped 52 points on the Bears. I'm sorry. We're not. Our defense looked horrible, right? This is not something to be bragging about. But you have one really bad week offensively and one really good week. How can you say that it's, you're going to be fine? So to me, again, week 3, right? You got to see it one more week. If they're great again this week and they drop 30-plus points, all right, I'll hold my hands up and say that offense is going to be fine. But I need to see it for one more week. I've said it before. I do still think they're going to be good, decent to good offensively. I think their defense is really what's going to step up this year. But yeah, I think they're gonna be okay. But saying that they're great, ready to go, like they're the same, I think that's an overreaction.
Now, man, because I believe that was one of my over or under reactions of last week. It was talking about that offense, and I think I think I said that the take was that they wouldn't be the same, and I'm pretty sure I said that was a overreaction. And I'll be honest, man, I really do think we're gonna see some very good games with that offense again, just because I think they suck so bad in week 1, because I really do think the Packers are just that team, man. I really do think they have a top defense. And then, I mean, unfortunately, I saw what happened this week. Are they going to go put out 50 every week? No. But I'm more on the reality side for now. But like you said, it's only week 2. We need to revisit this in a week or two. And then I don't even know if that'll be enough time to truly see yet, but it's just we need to see some consistency with that offense.
I think I worded it a bit poorly for my explanation, because I think they will be good. I think they'll be fine, right? And that's exactly what I said. I meant more so that they're going to be what they were last season.
Okay, gotcha.
And that's where I think it's an overreaction. I just worded that very poorly.
Yeah, they had it wasn't like a top 3 offense under Ben Johnson every year. Yeah, I don't think if we were in it like that, I don't think that's gonna happen again. Not top. Okay. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say top 3 like it was with Ben.
All right, but hey, that's it for overreactions to reality, right? You don't have any more?
Yeah, that was it.
Awesome. So now we're going to get into listener hot takes. Every week, you guys leave some hot takes in the comments on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, whatever you're listening on, Spotify. So we've got 4 this week. The first one we're going to start with, I think it's going to be a bit of a quick one. The Cleveland Browns will make the playoffs. Hot take from a listener. I think I'm so sorry. I think they're getting a top 3 pick, buddy.
Dude, what do you mean? You don't want to see Dylan Gabriel more? Man, the Browns. Okay.
That's a bad one.
Dude, no, not at all. Not at all, actually. I don't think
there's no even playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, no, there's no way. I was just thinking of their division. You got the Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers. I mean, we know, we'll talk about it a little bit here soon, but we saw the news with Burrow. I don't think that's going to make them worse than the Browns. And even close, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not even, the Ravens, are we serious?
I'm not sweating it.
Yeah, no, the Ravens, Steelers, yeah, no, that's, they got 4th place locked up in that division. Unless, man, I don't even know if Tom Brady could come out of retirement and save them. Bro, I'm sorry. I think I'll be very, very shocked, and I hope you're right, man, because I know you'd be the happiest guy in the world, but I personally do not think that's going to happen.
Yeah, we'll just jump straight into the next listener hot take. So, listener hot take number 2, we've got Danny Dimes. Daniel Jones will be a top 10 quarterback this season. I would have to really think it out. Yeah. I'm still going to say he's outside of the top 10. Maybe top 15. I'll give him top 15 this season. I think if he plays how he did these first 2 weeks the whole year, I think you got to give him top 15. I think top 10. There's just a lot of really great quarterbacks out there right now, man.
I agree with that. I mean, I don't think we're going to see him. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't think we're going to see all these rushing touchdowns all year long. So I think from a stat department, that is going to take a drop. It's just when you have Jonathan Taylor, he's going to get his eventually. I mean, I know as of 2 weeks so far, Dimes has been just vulturing all of those. But I think if for a top 10 quarterback this season, those would need to continue. And personally, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't really think I have anything more to say for it. So, I mean, if you don't got nothing else, we can jump right into the next one.
Jump right into it. Let's do it.
So Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs will finish behind both the Chargers and the Broncos in the AFC West this season. So finishing 3rd in the division. What do you think about that one?
Dude, man, that one, I don't think it's crazy to say, I'm going to be honest, but it's just, I don't think I would bet against Mahomes and Reed just getting into the playoffs, to be honest. I think when it comes down to it, like I said earlier, their team isn't fully there right now. They're missing some very key pieces. I just can't see them. I can't see them missing the playoffs. I really can't see them just not making it. I mean, Los Angeles, Herbert looks like one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now. Do I think that continues? Yes. Denver, on the other hand, I mean, they were one kick away from starting the year 2-0. I just can't see. I can't see the Chiefs not getting in there because of how they're playing. I think they're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, I honestly agree with this hot take, though, that they are going to finish third. But like you said, they're definitely making the playoffs still. They might be, a 6 or a 7 seed, but,
Yeah.
but I do think that they're still getting the playoffs. But yeah, third in the West, man. I think it's very possible. I think at best they're going to get second in the West, maybe over Denver. But I'm super high on Denver, even though they lost this week. I'm still super high on them, man.
Dude, I don't. Do you watch like Kelsey, man? It's just he looks toast. I'm sorry. It's just he looks.
Yeah, it's hard to see, man.
Yeah, you can tell he's 35 years old
like
now.
this.
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Because we've seen him dominate forever, and now when they do need him, they didn't have Xavier Worthy, they didn't have Rashee Rice. He still couldn't deliver, and if that's the case, it's just I don't know how it gets better for him personally. It's just him and Rashee play the same part of the field. They both get their catches and all their yards in the middle of the field. And if he just can't do that now, I don't know, man. I could definitely see them finishing. I think the Chargers are going to take that division, but I think it's a coin flip between the Chiefs and Denver to finish second.
100%, man. I think you put it perfectly there. We'll get into the final listener hot take here. So, listener hot take number 4, Jackson Smith-Njigba will finish as a top 5 receiver this season. I honestly could see it, man. I don't have the exact numbers here, but his target share, receptions, and yardage. He is second in the league in all of those stats through 2 games. I think he's going to be like how Sam Darnold had Justin Jefferson last year, fed him the ball all season. I think it's going to be just like that with Jackson Smith-Njigba, man. I could definitely see him finishing top 5.
Yeah, I was going to say it's just why he would get there for me is just how much work this guy is seeing, man. I think, I can't remember what last week's was, but I'm pretty sure week 1 he had a 52% target share or something. He was just literally every single look going straight to JSN, and he's been delivering. I mean, his last 2 games, this week against Pittsburgh, 8 receptions, 103 yards. And then week 1 against the 49ers, 9 receptions for 124 yards. The touchdowns will come with him, and I think he's going to start needing that really to get him in the top 5 category. But the work is there, and I don't see it changing literally anytime soon. Cooper Kupp, I'm pretty sure he had, let me look it up real quick. I think he had a decent game. He was like, I think he finished with 70 yards, I believe. And it's just, I still don't think that's going to be enough. I mean, just JSN is just gonna be the guy, and if he keeps getting this work, which I believe he is, Sam Darnold just needs to stay healthy because, like you said, he is his Justin Jefferson. I could definitely see this happening. I just personally think he starts or will need the touchdowns to get there.
I mean, as of right now, the top 5 receivers when it comes to yardage, and these are the only guys actually over 200 yards at the moment. Number 1, we got Malik Neighbors, then it's JSN, CeeDee Lamb, Puka Nacua, and then your favorite, Zay Flowers.
Oh, great.
I think of this top 5, 3 of them will still be top 5 when the season's over. And I think that is Malik Neighbors, Jackson Smith-Njigba, and probably Puka Nacua if he stays healthy.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And just to clear it up, it was, I don't want to trash Cooper Kupp, fantasy legend for a season. 7 catches for 90 yards. And it's just
a good game.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what you need out of a wide receiver too. And it's just I don't see Darnold not just throwing every ball to JSN anytime soon. So
yeah, so with that, we've got game recaps from week 2 of the NFL up next. we will sadly start off with the Detroit Lions 52-21 for the Bears. This was just, this was hard to watch, man. I suffered through the whole thing. I sat there and I took my lashings, right? Blood, sweat, and tears with this team, man. I'm right there with them in the trenches. Man. But, dude, this was so hard to watch. I mean, there were so many things wrong. The run game, I wish that we would just stop handing the ball off to DeAndre Swift a ton, man. He's not a lead running back.
Not at all.
He's just not that great. He's a good third down back. Don't get me wrong, but Roschon Johnson was healthy. Didn't see him get the ball.
Nope.
Kalaman guy. Why were we using him as the receiving back? Give him the ball as the lead back, since we don't want to go sign anybody.
Dude,
edge rushers. Man. We're paying $45 million a season to both of them for the least amount of pressures in the league. I mean, Nick Bonito himself has more pressures than our entire team.
Oh,
so
no.
Why are we paying them all this money? We're paying, specifically Montez Sweat, we are paying premium mileage for a 92 whatever, just something just not worth it, beat up. Yeah. He is not worth the trade that we gave him at all. The defense is old. Tyreek Stevenson might be the worst cornerback I've ever seen in my life, and I was super high on this guy. So I still thought he had it in him. He just had a bad year, but the Hail Mary altered something in his brain. His wavelengths are just off. He's horrible. He has 158.3, a perfect passer rating when thrown against him. No wonder we got 52 dropped on our heads. And to top it all off, we played zone coverage the entire game and just let them pick us apart. Why did we go from playing such a high percentage of man coverage to playing, I think it was 30 or 40% zone coverage the whole game, or like 50, I don't know, a ridiculous amount of zone coverage that clearly doesn't work with this team, man. And then Cairo Santos is still on my football team.
Somehow.
Caleb Williams didn't look bad. Didn't look great.
Yeah.
Roma Dunze, I love you.
Yeah, he's dude.
Why is Colston Loveland not getting the ball? Mm-hmm. Why is Luther Burden not in the game more? DJ Moore is a drama queen. This football team hurts me.
Dude,
anyways,
I
your
could
turn.
tell, man. I could. Hey, dude, you're passionate. I love that. I love it. When we go through these game recaps, I really do like talking about some stats, just in case you were not able to watch this game. So let's talk about. I mean, oh man, I guess we heard that Bears rant. Let's start off with these Bears. Caleb Williams finished the game 19 for 30, 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Sacked 4 times. Rough game for him. We look on the other side. Cover your ears for this one. Jared Goff. 23 for 28, 334 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 sacks. Dude, not just
0 sacks.
Dude,
I feel like we didn't even get a pressure.
Dude,
it was 7-on-7 for Jared Goff.
Jared Goff's throwing 5 touchdowns against your defense. You got a problem, man. I'm sorry. I love Jared Goff, but he's a good 3-touchdown guy, but 5 different touchdowns. Before we start talking about these Lions, because, man, did they have some great numbers. We'll start going back to Chicago. Like you said, rushing the ball. It was just Swift, really. 12 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown. And it's just, like you said, I just don't know where, why did I just complete? Roschon Johnson is, man. He needs to see something. I don't care if it's 3-5 carries a game. He needs to see something. Swift was really the only, I guess you could say, efficient rusher that I see right here.
He has such poor running back vision, man.
Ben Johnson already got rid of him once, man. I don't get why they, dude. Serious. I don't get why they thought that he was going to be good as a running back one. Did they get sniped a couple times in the draft? Yes, they did. But it's just, dude, you need to do something because he's just not it. He's really not it.
We need to fire Ryan Poles immediately.
I love that.
I can't believe we extended him.
Yeah.
I don't care that we extended him. That's not my problem. That's the ownership's problem. You could take the hit for making such an idiotic decision to extend one of the worst GMs in the league.
Dude, what do you mean? He's taking the North and he's not getting rid of it.
Oh, we went south. We went south. We forgot about the North.
Bro, I just
We're
spit
so
water
far
in
from
my
taking
nose,
the
man.
North. We're so far from taking the North. And then you
3-19, by the way.
play exactly 3-19. You look at players we've missed on.
Yeah.
We drafted Torrey Taylor, who is not a bad punter, but a fourth-round pick, and we passed on my favorite running back in the league, and Bucky Irving, man.
Dude.
We let Bucky Irving slip for Torrey Taylor, a guy who we told wasn't going to punt the ball much, and he has the most punts in the league since he was told that. Thank you, Caleb.
Dude, oh my God. Hey, I just want to say one thing. When Ryan Poles first said that quote, I know it's in my phone somewhere. I screenshotted that when the first time he said it, and I am so happy it is getting resurfaced again because it's just comedy to me. And here, you know what?
He thought he
you
had
know what?
so
Let me
much
cheer you
oil.
up. Yeah, no, seriously. And he is a 0. So let me cheer you up. The only bright spot, Rome Odunze, 7 receptions, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 11 targets he saw that game. The next closest
That's my dog.
Dude, hey, he is a dog, bro. I knew he was going to be a dog. I'm very happy.
I know my next jersey.
Dude, yes, great choice. 11 targets, next closest to him, DJ Moore with only 6, man. DJ Moore, 5 receptions for 46 yards. I mean, here, tight end 1, I guess. Cole Kmet, 2 for 29, only saw 2 targets. Zacchaeus, I mean, I don't even want to say the rest of these. They're terrible. 2 for 12 for Zacchaeus.
There's nothing even to talk
Luther
about.
Burden, 2 targets, 1 catch for 5 yards. Number 10 overall pick that they just don't want to get involved. 0 for 0 for Colston Loveland. Only saw 1 target. Dude.
It's such a bad,
it's terrible.
I like Colston Loveland. I think he's a great tight end, man.
Yeah.
I just think if the plan was to not use the guy, why did you take him with the 10th overall pick when we have bigger needs?
Yeah.
Like I was iffy at the time about the selection, but I was like, you know what? If Ben wants him, I trust Ben.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know whose pick it was at the end of the day. Was it Ben? Was it Ryan? Who knows? I mean, but one thing I do want to just point out quickly with Rome Odunze, I have to be fair. I can't play favorites, right? Yep. He had 2 bad drops, man.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But he still looked phenomenal. So I'll take the good with the bad. If he's going to give me, 7 for 112 and 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, 7
and I got to deal with 2 drops.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got to deal with 2 drops in a game we were down by 40 already. I mean,
yeah, you'll take it, dude. Like I said, the only positive. I thought from that offense, and oh man. Now let's talk about Detroit a little bit. So touchdown to Jared Goff, 23-28. 334 yards, 5 touchdowns. Like you said, probably not pressured once that game. When it comes to rushing, I feel like Monty always gets his against his old team. He went for 11 for 57 and 1. Gibbs, crazy. 12 carries, 94 yards. That's about just averaging almost 8 yards a carry and a touchdown. And he had a nice 42-yard rush. And the receiving. Oh, my gosh, man. All right. Amon-Ra St. Brown. 9 receptions, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns. Unguardable that whole game. Jamison Williams, you saw the deep shot. That's what he's great at. 2 receptions, 108 yards, and 1 touchdown. And the last touchdown, Sam Laporta was pretty quiet that game, but Brock Wright caught one of them. 3 for 28 and a touchdown. Laporta, 3 for 26. And honestly, there's Tesla. He's in there. 1 reception for 29 yards. This guy is a big play machine.
I just want to point this out very quickly.
Come on. Say what you got to say.
One, I love Isaac Tesla.
Yeah.
I think he's a dog, and I've been calling it since preseason. Yep. But that was unbelievable refereeing job there. You might as well have had, what's his name? What's the blind guy's name? I can't think of his name, but you might as well have had him.
Stevie
out
Wonder's
there.
one of
the
them.
musician, Stevie Wonder. There we go. Might as well have had him out there as the head referee because Isaac Tesla was clearly down inbounds, and we decided to think about it with our hands in our pants and then go, let's give Detroit 6 seconds, and then they got a touchdown, and then the game was over after that. But, I mean, that was ridiculous to see. But anyway,
dude, okay. You know what, man? I think for the sake of your mental health, we're going to this next game.
Yes,
so,
next game.
I'll kick it off here. We had the Bengals versus the Jaguars. The Bengals ended up defeating them 31-27. Unfortunately, Joe Burrow went down. We won't see him for a very long time. honestly, it sounds like we're only going to see him if they make the playoffs, and they do have a gauntlet of a schedule coming up here. And, I mean, I'll go over some of these stats. So we saw Jake Browning for most of that game, 21 for 32, started very, very rough, 241 yards, 3 interceptions, ended up with 2 touchdowns. They got the win, so that's all that matters. Chase Brown, rough game from him, rushing 16 for 47. That's just under 3 yards a carry. And receiving, man, Jamar Chase, dude, he's so fun to watch no matter who his quarterback is. He went for 14 for 165 and 1. T. Higgins, 3 for 56 and 1. And honestly, it's just Chase Brown, again, really rough on just a rough whole game because he's usually gets some receiving, but 2 catches for 18 yards. I do want to talk about real quick what to expect from this offense while Joe Burrow is gone. I'm a fantasy guy, so I wanted to get a little bit into Jake Browning here. So I don't think he's going to be terrible, man. What do you think, real quick? I'm looking up some stats real quick. So what do you think?
I mean, I think he did a serviceable job, if I could say the word. I think he did well last year for them without Burrow. I think they're going to be fine without him. And I do want to get into that because we are getting a little crunched on time, so we're going to have to, fly through the news a bit. So I want to just, rope this in while we're talking about the Bengals. Obviously, Joe Burrow will require surgery for his turf toe, expected to miss 3 months, man. And in my opinion, this is a tough loss for the Bengals, but there is not a worse named injury than turf toe for what it actually is, man. Because when you hear turf toe, it does not sound serious until you actually learn what it is, and it is a brutal injury to have, man.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Brock Purdy has it, and you saw he got it easy. He's only going to miss a couple of weeks, but unfortunately, that was a lot worse for Burrow. And dude, I want to say very, very quick, then I'll be done talking about this Bengals side. For fantasy reasons, I just wanted to talk about Browning here. I mean, I'd be a little scared if I had Jamar Chase, but then I was looking. 2023, he played 8 games. QB finishes his first 2, QB 23, QB 18, QB 4, QB 4 again, QB 8, QB 21 against Pittsburgh. That was his QB 18 was also against Pittsburgh too. It's just a good defense. Then he ended the season QB 8 and QB 9. So very good backup, man. And I really do think that for fantasy purposes, we might not see the consistency with Jamar, but I really do think they're going to be okay. They just need to get through this tough part of their schedule. And real quick, I'll go through it very shortly. Jacksonville side of the ball, we saw Trevor Lawrence kind of give Cohen like, hey, I don't care what you're saying. 24 for 42, 271 for 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Travis Etienne looks good, man. 14 carries for 71 yards. Tootin, 8 for 42. He seems to take over the Tank Bigsby role, and I think he's doing pretty good at it. For their receiving, wasn't nothing crazy. Brian Thomas still hasn't really showed up to what everybody thought he was going to be. The leading receiver there was Parker Washington, 5 receptions for 76. And you had Etienne get a touchdown through the passing game, too. And Tootin as well, man. So it's just very shocked they lost that game. I really do want to see how the Jaguars look next week. But what did you think about the Jaguars this week?
Yeah, man, I think you nailed on the head there with the Brian Thomas Jr. stuff, because I think that's the most important thing to talk about with this Jaguars team is this guy was a top 10 receiver last season as a rookie, and he just seems in his head a bit so far to start the year. Yeah. I know, I think Cohen said he was dealing with an injury. I might be wrong on that, but I think he said he had some sort of injury like that was nagging him, but he played through. But I still think that's no excuse for the drops he was making. I hope he could pick it up. I think he will pick it up. I'd like to see them get Travis Hunter more involved, man, in the receiving game. Or at the very least, if you're not going to be getting him involved receiving-wise, play him more on defense. Yep. Because you're wasting him if you're not getting him the ball on offense when he could be doing more on defense. Yep. I just think, that doesn't make sense to me. I like what I've seen from Etienne. Tootin,
looks
that's
good.
A good combo right there. So, I think the Jaguars are going to be fine. I think it's just a rough loss, man. Little tempers flaring between Cohen and Lawrence. I think that's just stuff you get
Growing
over.
pains,
It's
man.
football, man.
Exactly.
It's a
It's
bunch,
gonna happen.
like I said, growing pains. And these are a bunch of grown men, man.
Yep.
There's adrenaline and hormones flaring.
Mm-hmm.
Testosterone through the roof. There's going to be some arguments, some heated moments. It's football, man. They'll get over it. People are reading way too much into that, I think.
I agree with you. And I didn't even talk about Travis Hunter because he really wasn't involved at all. But let's go to what honestly I had the most fun watching this game. Dallas versus the Giants. The Cowboys ended up taking them 40-37 in overtime, and man, was it a fun game to watch. Dak Prescott that game, 38 for 52, 361 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interceptions. Javonte Williams, man, he's turning back the clock to a couple years ago because he looks good. 18 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Miles Sanders put one of them in. And receiving game for them, CeeDee Lamb, still a dog. 9 receptions, 112 yards. And what else there? Pickens 5 for 68 and a touchdown. And Turpin caught one too. He looked solid too, 4 for 47 and 1. And then the Giants side, dude, Russell Wilson, man, he threw for 450 yards,
Ooh.
3 touchdowns, an interception. Cam Scatterby looked to be the lead back last week over Tyrone Tracy. 11 carries for 45 yards and a touchdown. Receiving, Malik Neighbors. He is a dog, man. He is a beast.
Oh, yeah.
9 receptions, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. And his running mate, Wan'Dale Robinson, also, dude, he's insane too, man. 8 receptions, 142 yards, and a touchdown. He is just too good, man. So it's going to be fun, and I'm happy that Russ saw all this stuff about, like, hey, let's get him out of here. And he showed up this week.
I do have to say that this was a career game for Russell Wilson, right? Statistically. And because of that, I think people are going to expect this from him. And I think that's just not going to be the case. I think people need to cool their jets a little bit, right? So I think that while he looked good, he's going to look better than he did week 1 for the games that he does play. But I still think people completely blowing off the Jackson Dart getting the job at some point train. That's going to happen eventually, man. I mean, it's just bound to happen, right?
Yeah.
So while again, Russ looked great, Neighbors looked great, I still think Dart's going to take that job eventually. But, man, it was an exciting game. I didn't get to watch it because it was going on same time as my Lions and Bears. And when Bears are on, I got to be locked in. So I couldn't watch multiple games at once, right? So I just saw some highlights through Red Zone. I did see the overtime period, though. Russ cooked a little too much there.
A little bit.
Really bad interception in overtime there. And then Brandon Aubrey, the best kicker in the league, man.
Yep.
He's got to be the best kicker in the league.
I think I saw Jerry Jones just said he's working on a contract extension with him as well. So, I mean, hey,
give
very
him
well
Micah's
deserved.
money.
Dude. Yeah, seriously. We need to see the first $100 million kicker contract. But with that, I mean, we can get in this next game. But honestly, there really isn't much to talk about. Eagles versus Chiefs. Eagles took it 20-17. We talked about Kelsey already, so we touched on that. What do you feel about this tush push, man? Because I saw a picture. Dude, they were all offsides, bro. All of them were offsides. Like, that was insane to me.
I have 2 very strong feelings with the tush push. So I'll start with the negative side of the tush push is that the Eagles, there's a lot of penalties when they run that tush push that don't get called, man.
Yeah.
And I think that it is a very, very hard play to officiate. I don't know if you saw in the Chargers game last night when they went to run the tush push, the refs like relined them.
I did see that.
So if they're gonna start, because I don't think it should be banned. By the way, I'm fully on the side that play should not get banned, but it needs to be officiated better.
Boom.
If you are going to ban it, I understand why, because maybe it is just too hard to officiate with all the bodies right there, but. They're offsides a lot. There's a lot of false starts. But then at the same time, there's a lot of neutral zone infractions because they're also offside, right? Mm-hmm. So it's just got to be officiated better. But at the same time, when you look at the tush push and the success rates, other teams try it, man, but nobody can do it like Philadelphia. And it's not fair to punish them for a play that they've mastered.
Yeah.
Because if it was truly broken and it was truly this unstoppable play, everybody would do it. But everybody can't do it. I mean,
wait 1 second. Danny Dimes has 2 rushing touchdowns from that. No, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I really do think that play should not go, but man, does it need to be refed just a little bit better, because I really do think that's the big problem with that. And honestly, man, I don't have anything else to add on to that game. Nobody really showed out crazy that game. But I think we could just get right into this last game that we could discuss. Tampa Bay Buccaneers took on the Houston Texans. It was a very fun game to watch. Buccaneers ended up winning that one 20-19. And honestly, I want to just say, I want to give shout out to Ibuka again, getting a touchdown. Very happy I drafted this guy. He's a dog. But that was really all, because 4 for 29, that was it. Slow game from Mike Evans, 5 for 56. But man, Baker Mayfield, bro. This dude, I don't know. He, what was it? He ran. He got hit. He went down, looked like he was hurt. He got up instantly to talk trash to Gardner Johnson, which that player very, 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 very well does deserve it, because I don't like that guy. I don't like that guy at all. I don't think anybody likes him. But man, he's so fun to watch.
Dogs,
dude.
Speaking of dogs with Ibuka, the biggest dog of them all is Baker Mayfield, man. I love that guy. I love the way he plays football, man.
He's got to be my favorite player outside the Colts, man. He's just like, dude, you just said,
I love Baker.
He will die on that field if they need to get a win. And it's just, when a guy with that much energy, so fun to watch. I'm very happy that
he's found his home.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And I'm very happy. Dude, I saw a picture. Remember when the Panthers had him lining up on special teams, bro?
Dude.
Bryce Young, you need to get out of there, man. I don't know if you're going to do good anywhere else, but you just need to get out of Carolina, dude. But yeah, that was just really, honestly, I don't know if you want to touch on anything else with that game, but I just really want to touch on just Baker Mayfield, dog, Ibuka, dog. It's just very fun team to watch.
The only thing I got to say, man, that Texans defense is going to win them games this season.
Yeah.
That Texans defense is good, and if they really just had a good offensive line, man, they'd be a Super Bowl contender. It's just that offensive line is so pitiful. It's so bad. It's like a JV team out there, man.
Yeah.
If only they had like an elite left tackle, you know. If like a guy like Laramie Tunsil, you know.
If only he was on that team.
But yeah, man, that's all I got to say about that game. We can get into Pick Ems next. Do you want to start with your actually, before we start with the Pick Ems, a little recap, just a little update for those of you listening. Harry's taking the crown. Harry's taking the crown. He's got the 1-game lead. He's 25-7. I'm at 24-8. You went 14-2 last week, dude.
Dude, I have a feeling we are going to be very close to each other every single week, man. Just basing off how these first 2 weeks have gone.
Yeah, but you want to hop into yours first?
Yeah, man. Let me get into my 2025 NFL Week 3 Pick'ems. So, I'm going Thursday night, Dolphins versus Bills. Give me the Bills. And then we get into these Sunday games, Falcons versus Panthers. I'll take the Falcons there. Packers versus Browns. I'll take the Packers. Texans go to Jacksonville. I want the Texans there. I think they finally get their first win there. Bengals versus Vikings. Non-Burrow Bengals. I still think the Vikings take it. I think Wentz is going to do good enough for them to get that win. Steelers versus Patriots. I'm going with the Steelers. Rams versus Eagles. I'm taking the Rams in this one, man. I think Stafford's going to do it. Jets versus Buccaneers. I'm going with the Bucks. Colts versus Titans. Like I said, Cam Ward, you are going to get demolished this week. Give me the Colts. Raiders versus Commanders. I'm taking the Raiders here just because it's looking like Jaden Daniel is doubtful to play. And if he's not playing, I'm just going to take the Raiders. I think Geno's not going to throw 3 interceptions again. Broncos versus the Chargers is going to be a great game, but I am going to take the Chargers here. The Saints versus Seahawks. I said this, and I'll say this every week. I'm not picking the Saints. Give me the Seahawks. Cowboys versus Bears. Give me the Bears there. Cowboys going to San Francisco, or Cardinals versus the 49ers. Give me the 49ers there. Then Sunday night, we got the Chiefs versus the Giants. Chiefs by a lot, I think. And Monday night, Lions versus Ravens. And I'm going to take the Ravens there.
Actually, man, so you said we were going to be close every single week. This is the week we're going to be different.
Let's go. Let's go. I love that.
I like that we're gonna be different.
There we
I
go.
liked your picks there, but my week 3 NFL pick'ems. Here we go. We got Dolphins heading to Buffalo to play the Bills on Thursday Night Football. I'm taking Josh Allen and the Bills. Vikings and Bengals, both without their starting quarterbacks. I am taking the Carson Wentz-led Vikings. Texans on the road against the Jaguars. I do think the Jaguars are going to do enough to get it done at home. Colts on the road against the Titans. I'm going to go with an upset here. I think Cam Ward gets a win with the Titans. We've got Raiders on the road against Commanders. I agree with you there. I think without Jaden Daniels, with him being doubtful this week, I'm going to take Geno Smith. Rams on the road against the Eagles. I'm also taking the Rams there.
Yep.
We've got the Falcons on the road against the Panthers. I'm taking the Falcons. Steelers on the road against the Patriots. I think Patriots defend their home pretty well there. I think they take this win. We got Packers on the road against Browns. It's not going to be close. Packers are taking that one. Jets on the road against Buccaneers. Justin Fields looked pitiful. He's actually going to be out this week with Tyrod Taylor. Either way, they would have lost. I'm taking the Buccaneers. Broncos on the road against the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. Saints on the road against the Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks. Cowboys at Bears. You know which team I'm picking. Bear down, baby. Cardinals on the road against 49ers. Another upset here. I'm taking the Cardinals. Chiefs at Giants. My biggest upset of the week. I'm taking the New York Football Giants, baby. Then finally, Lions on the road against the Ravens. Give me Lamar and the Ravens.
Dude, I need to hear that Sunday night game, man.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk about it. So, Chiefs at Giants, man, I don't like what I've seen from the Chiefs through these first 2 weeks. So, I don't think Russell Wilson's going to play exactly like he did against the Cowboys. But I think their defense is going to win them this football game. They are going to terrorize Patrick Mahomes. I just don't see a way that the Chiefs are going to score a lot of points in this game, and I think it's going to be an ugly one, like a 16-13 win or something for the Giants, you know. But I do think the Giants upset them here.
Yeah, no, I want to agree with. Like I said, I picked the Chiefs. I think the Giants will need a lot going their way to win, but I do want to agree with. I think this game is going to be ugly, man. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be a pretty game to watch, unfortunately. But I'm still going to go with Mahomes here, and it's just I want to talk about one more that you said. The Jaguars. Why do you think the Jaguars? Why do you think the Jaguars?
I still just don't like what I've seen from that Texans offense. From that Texans offense, man. I mean, Nico Collins really hasn't been able to get all that involved. And I think Travis Hunter is going to, if they're smart, they will play Travis Hunter more on defense, and I think he will handle Nico Collins. I think their pass rush is great. And when you're playing a team like the Houston Texans, that's all you need to win is a good pass rush. And I think this is going to be I don't want to say the bounce back game because the Texans have an elite defense and an elite secondary, but I think Brian Thomas Jr. is going to look a lot more like himself this week, and that's going to do enough to get them the win.
I will say, man, that Texans offense is very, very confusing to me just because you drafted 2 rookie wide receivers early in the draft, and it's just when you have Xavier Hutchinson getting more work than them, Jaden Higgins only saw 1 target that whole game. Noel, I don't even see him. Didn't even play, it looks. I don't know if he's banged up or what, but he didn't even get a target this game. It's just, I think they do have a lot to figure out, but I'm just going to roll with their defense in this game. Like you said, a lead on both sides there. Secondary's great, their D-line's great, and it's just, I really do think that's going to be enough to slow down this Jaguars offense.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about the Thursday night football game here. Not much to talk about, but Dolphins on the road against the Bills. We've both taken the Bills. I don't think this one's gonna be close. You know how I feel about those Miami Dolphins, and they're going into Buffalo. I don't care that it's September. Too cold for Tua.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, I'm gonna keep this one very, very short and sweet. You sold me on the Dolphins. I'll be very honest, and just from what we've seen these first 2 weeks, they look horrendous. Give me Josh Allen, and very, very easily, to be honest.
For every bad take I may have, I think I had a good one there with the Dolphins.
I love that. Let's get right into this Falcons versus Panthers. What do you think about that game?
So we both went with the Falcons here, and man, I really think that the chance to win for the Panthers was this past weekend against the Cardinals.
Yeah.
They were given so many opportunities to win the game by that Cardinals defense who has looked like a great unit to start the year, but they were shooting themselves in the foot with penalties on that last drive, and that offensive line is up there with the Texans in terms of bad, man. I mean, they just weren't doing Bryce Young any favors, and now I don't remember who they lost, but they lost 2 of their linemen this week, so it's only going to get worse for Bryce Young. And that Falcons pass rush has finally looked like what they've wanted it to look like. They looked good with Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr. there. They're gonna be terrorizing Bryce Young all day long. It's gonna be an ugly one, and I think Falcons are gonna win by like 14, 20 plus.
Yeah, no, I'll also keep this one pretty short and sweet. I don't think it's gonna be close. I think we haven't seen so much out of Penix yet. Aaron, honestly, or Drake London, and if there's a team where you can start turning up against, it will be this Panthers. Yes, Horn is there, but honestly, at the end of the day, I do not think that's going to matter at all. Oh man, I'm so happy I remembered this. You see the Bijan news?
What happened?
It's Bijan, not Bijan anymore. He
said, I did. Yes. They showed it like 4 different times on Sunday Night Football.
At the bottom of my notes, I have in all caps just Bijan. I didn't want to talk about. I didn't want to talk about that. Yes, but speaking of Bijan, I mean, 22 for 143 last week. He's a dog. That's not going to change against this defense. So, give me the Falcons pretty easily there. And with that, I mean, we can just get into another game that I would probably say both of us are going to say aren't going to be close. Packers versus Browns. We both said the Packers there. I'm going to keep this short and sweet on my end. They're my Super Bowl pick, and this defense looks like it's the best in the league, and I don't think Joe Flacco or whoever, Dylan Gabriel, whoever it is going to do anything close enough to even be close in this game.
I do have to say this, again, I agree it's not going to be close in the slightest, but do you think this is the game where maybe the last we see of Joe Flacco is just getting mauled by the Packers defense?
Yeah.
Do you think after this they say maybe we just throw Gabriel and then eventually Sanders in there?
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just I feel bad for Flacco, honestly, man. He's going to get torn up this game, and I really do think they're just going to be like, all right, yeah, no, seriously. I really do think they're just going to be like, all right, I can't watch Flacco almost die on this field every time he gets sacked. Let's throw in one of the rookies, and it's going to be Packers by a million.
Yeah, easily. Next game we'll get into, which we'll talk about a little bit more here, I'm sure. Colts on the road against the Titans. You win, of course, with the Indianapolis Colts. I'm taking the upset in the Titans. I'm sure you want to hear why that is the case.
Let's hear it. Let me hear it.
So I believe in Cam Ward, man. I've been preaching it since the first episode, that he is the real deal. And I know the score doesn't show it in that Rams game. It was 33-19, but 90% of that game, they were duking it out, man. And Cam Ward had an unreal touchdown for his first passing touchdown of the season. And like I said earlier in the podcast, I think this is the litmus test, right, for the Indianapolis Colts. I think this is the test for me, week 3. If you could do it for 3 weeks in a row, you're the real deal to me. And I think on the road, divisional battle, even though they have the advantage in the series, like you were talking about, 39-22, I just think this is a tough test on the road, man. Cam Ward, I think this is going to be his breakout game to where he shows that he's their guy. I think he's going to light up a red-hot Colts team and kind of make you guys cool off a little bit.
All right, so I do want to say, hey, that touchdown throw, oh my gosh, man. That was beautiful. Whew. Yeah, no, that was, I'm not denying, I think Cam Ward is going to be a very good NFL quarterback. I just don't think it's going to become this week. I really do think, talking about Cam Ward, seeing he had to go against the, oh man, why am I blanking? Who they played? Do you remember who they played week 1?
Oh, why do I also not know who they played?
Holy crap! I'm looking this up.
Titans schedule here.
Yeah.
They played.
It was a hard defense.
The Broncos.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
So they hung in there with 2 really good defenses.
Yes. So that was my thing. I knew he was going to have a tough week 1 matchup. The Rams are a very underrated defense, so I thought he was going to have a tough week 2. And honestly, I don't think that changes. I think our defense, if our corners are healthy, if we have Ward out there, Jalen Jones out there, and Latu, I just really, man, I can't see it. I'll be honest with you. And yes, that's a Colts fan in me talking, obviously. But it's just, I don't think it's going to become this week. And when it comes to our team, I really do think I mean, Jonathan Taylor, man, he looks so good. I think he can run all over this team. Danny Dimes, he doesn't have to do everything, which is nice. We don't need to rely on him in anything or everything when we have a guy like JT in the backfield. We saw a little slow Pittman week last week. Downs finally got involved, and it was very nice to see. But it's just, I'll be honest, man, I don't think it's this week where Cam Ward. Hopefully, actually, why am I saying that? I like the guy.
Yeah,
I was going to say, I like the guy. I was going to say, hopefully he could prove me wrong, but not this week. But, man, I'm going to be excited when we do see Cam Ward torch a defense, and I just don't think it's going to be this one, man.
Yeah, with that, we'll get into the next game here. I think we'll hit on pretty quickly. Jets, led by Tyrod Taylor, going on the road to take on Baker Mayfield and the Buccaneers. We both chose the Buccaneers, and I don't think it's going to be that close.
No, not at all. I mean, I don't know. I'll try and think of stuff to maybe we can discuss a little bit, but Tyrod Taylor,
no.
yeah, just give me the Bucs pretty easily with that one.
Yeah, next game we've got here. This one's interesting. We got Bengals on the road against the Vikings. Two backup quarterbacks, Jake Browning and Commander Carson Wentz. We both went with the Vikings here. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I think Carson Wentz looks really good with Kevin O'Connell behind him.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like I said, pretty much echoed the same thing. It would not shock me at all if we see Carson Wentz go for 250 yards, a couple touchdowns, maybe even a rushing touchdown here. This Bengals defense is still atrocious, and I just think with Flores as their DC, they're going to be throwing a lot of different looks at Browning, and I think it's going to win them the game.
Yeah, next game we got here, Raiders on the road against the Jaden Daniels-less Commanders as Marcus Mariota gets the start. And with Marcus Mariota as your starting quarterback in the big 2025, we both took the Raiders. Yeah, I just don't think that Commanders team is going to be good enough without Jaden Daniels. And I don't think the Raiders are that bad. I think they just had a tough matchup against a Super Bowl contender, honestly, in the Chargers. So, yeah, I think Raiders take this one pretty easily.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think they made Geno Smith look silly last night, and I can't see that happening again. I feel like it's going to be interesting to watch the Commanders. I think they're not going to really be close if Mariota's their starting quarterback, and it'll just make those Commanders fans a little grateful of what you have, because I think we're going to see a performance from these Commanders like we're used to a couple years ago. So give me the Raiders pretty easily on that one.
So next game, again, we're just going to probably say like two things about it. Saints on the road against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Seahawks are winning this one. It's not close. We both took them.
Yeah, their defense is way too good. Rattler, yeah, he looked good last week. I will give him that. He did look good last week. But the Seahawks defense,
this week.
Nah, dude, they're too good. Sam Darnold, or honestly me at quarterback, I think we're still beating the Saints. So give me the Seahawks pretty easily there.
All right, next game, Cowboys on the road against the Bears. We both took the Bears, which I was honestly a little surprised that you were taking the Bears as well here. Obviously, I was going to take them. I'm backing my boys, and no matter if we're 0-16 or not.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, I just think that our defense is going to look better. I think Nashawn Wright looked good in week 1 for the Bears against the Vikings. So I think he's going to fill in well for Jalen Johnson. Obviously, you can't fill that Jalen Johnson-sized hole, as he will miss the remainder of this season with a groin injury. But, yeah, man, I still think we handle it. I think Caleb looks good. Yeah, I think Bears take this one.
Yeah, that's what pretty much the first thing you said. That's why I did it for me. I think your defense is going to improve a lot this week. And, honestly, it's just if you can really shut down their passing game, I don't think Javante's going to run crazy against you guys either, personally. And it's just, I think if there is a defense where Caleb can look very good, it would be this one. They just signed Jadeveon Clowney. I don't think that's going to be enough. And I trust me, I love this Cowboys team. I got a lot of Dak, and I got a lot of CD in a lot of leagues. And it's just, I still think the Bears are going to take this one. And hopefully, like we both said, I just want to see improvement from Caleb Williams. That is the top of my list.
Exactly, man. And the next game, Steelers on the road against the Patriots. This is another one where we were split. You went with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. I took Drake May and the Patriots. I just think that this Patriots team is going to use the momentum they got off a close win with, again, a bad Miami Dolphins team, but it's a divisional game.
Yep.
I never take too much into divisional games because they're always going to play different. But I think that's a lot of momentum they're going to be riding here off of a Steelers team that didn't look so good against the Seahawks.
Yes. Now, I think I've picked the Steelers every week here, mainly because I keep thinking this defense is going to wake up. They look horrendous.
They look nothing like themselves.
They look horrendous. And I'll be honest, this was one of them where it was very, very 50-50 for me. If this defense sucks this week, I'm going to really start looking at this team completely different. It's just only week 3 now, so I didn't want to completely buy into their defense sucking, but I think this game is going to be very close. Hopefully it isn't boring, but I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. And I do want to talk. I know we got couple more games here. This one kind of surprised me that we both picked them. Rams versus Eagles. Why did you?
Yes.
We both went with the Rams here. Why do you think that?
I just think this Eagles offense, until this new offensive coordinator gets it figured out, I don't think they're going to be able to get the job done. And I think, like you mentioned earlier, the Rams have a very good defense. I was preaching it as far back as our first episode when I said Jared Verse is a dark horse defensive player of the year candidate. And I love that Rams defense, man. Yeah, really good. I think the Eagles have a little bit better of a defense. But I think in terms of defenses, they're pretty close, and I like the Rams offense a lot more, man. Puka Nacua is going to look great. I think Cooper DeJean's going to do an okay job against him, but I think this is the week where, as great as DeJean is as a nickel corner, Puka's going to show there's levels to this.
Dude.
And then Devontae Williams is going to look great. Devontae Adams is going to look great as well. Kyron Williams, I mean, I just love this Rams team. I feel like I keep saying I've been preaching, but I love this Rams team, man. They're real Super Bowl contenders.
No, I agree with you, and I'm not going to talk too much because, honestly, if I was to say what I think, it was basically the same thing you just said for all of that. I just want to talk about, dude, they were so close to beating them in the playoffs. The Rams were so close to beating the Eagles in the playoffs, and it's just what got them over the hump because Jalen Hurts, honestly, he did enough, like we were talking about. He did enough. In that game, he went 15 for 20 for 128. It was Saquon. 26 carries, 205 yards, 2 touchdowns. All right, I'll give Jalen a little credit. Again. I'll give Jalen a little credit. 7 carries for 70 and a touchdown. So he did what we know he does, running the ball well. But can you bank on another Saquon game like that? And honestly, I think this defense is just better now. I think it's going to be a good game, and I think it's going to shock people, but I really don't think it should, man. Matthew Stafford, if this guy is healthy, he is a top quarterback in this league. And I think he's
top 5.
Exactly. And I think he's going to do great this week against the Eagles.
I do hope that this is the breakout passing game for the Eagles and Jalen Hurts. But again, like I said earlier, I'm not blaming that on Jalen Hurts. I know we've talked about Jalen Hurts a lot today. But again, I don't think it's so much Jalen Hurts. He's proven he can be a good passer of the football when needed. He shows up when it matters most. I just don't trust that OC, man. I don't think he's going to last here. So as long as he's there, when they play teams like the Rams, I'm going to be siding with the Rams.
Yeah, man. And I want to talk about this next game, which, honestly, your answer shocked me a little bit. Broncos versus Chargers. I really thought you were going to pick the Broncos here. Why'd you pick the Chargers over them?
So the big reason that I chose this is they're on the road.
Yep.
On the road divisional game, in a game where I was 50-50, more so leaning towards the Broncos. But, man, this Chargers defense specifically is what has impressed me most. Because I knew they'd have a good offense, but that defense has looked insane, man. Derwin James is back to looking like arguably the best safety in the league, man. It's just, can he stay healthy? But...
No, I agree with that.
But at the same time, man, you know what? I'm making first time on the Gridiron Network here. I'm flipping my pick to the Broncos because I just thought about Khalil Mack.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
No Khalil Mack. That's rough. I'm Broncos country. Let's ride, baby.
So yeah, I want to talk very, very shortly, dude. I mean, I was really, really expecting this offense for the Chargers very run heavy because that's just what we know they like. But, dude, I don't know if it's because Herbert is dating Madison Beer now, man. But this dude is just, he's different, man. He's a top 3, I'd say, right now, quarterback in the league. And it's just, I just keep seeing him at home, like you just said. I think he tears up this defense, and I think we just see another good game out of him. And it's just, I'm very, very happy that Harbaugh came in here and totally made these teams into contenders because Herbert deserves it, man. I mean, we know how he does in the playoffs, unfortunately, but it's really, really
looking. You got to
looking.
see it in the playoffs.
Exactly. It's really, really looking like this second, they are one of the best teams in the league, and they are so fun to watch.
Yeah, second to last game here that we're going to be talking about. Cardinals on the road against 49ers. Another divisional game and another game we were split on. You took the 49ers. I'm taking the Cardinals on the road here, man. I do like Mac Jones and what he's, I do think he's going to be good while they're without Brock Purdy. But I just think this Cardinals team, their defense has really stepped up from last year. I really like Will Johnson. I think that's such an underrated addition from them. James Conner at 47,000 years old is still a pretty good running back. Mm-hmm. Kyler's, running around back there in the backfield like a toddler, and he's getting it done, man.
Dude, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just, the Cardinals are such a weird team. They're really, and it really just
you never
all comes
know who's
down.
showing
Exactly.
up.
It just always comes down to Kyler for me. Oh my God, I was looking at these box scores. Bryce Young threw the ball 55 times last week. Holy crap, that is insane. But yeah, other than that, it's just, I went the 49ers here. I think their defense will contain Kyler, but like you said, it's a divisional game. It's going to be close. I think Mac Jones is going to do enough to win this game. It was honestly a quieter. We haven't seen a crazy week out of CMC yet, and I think if anything, it could be this week. But I will say one thing: when they drafted Will Johnson, man, I was like, oh man, that is such a good steal. Like that was literally a steal, man. There was mock drafts I remember at the beginning of last year where they had the Colts getting him in the middle of the first round, and they got him so late, man. So I do think it's going to be a good game. But I am going to go with the 49ers here, and we'll close it out here with the Monday night game, where it's going to be a great one. The Lions versus the Ravens. We both went the Ravens here, and honestly, it's just, like you said, you want to see something 3 weeks in a row. That Lions offense looked great last week, but now you got to go against the Ravens. And I honestly think just the Ravens are going to be a different beast than what those Lions saw last week. I'm sorry, but I really do think, I think these Ravens are going to get them. I think Lamar's going to do what Lamar does. And I don't know. I don't think we're going to see another dud Henry game like we did last week.
Yeah, I really think, I don't know what the spread is even at for this game. I'm sure it's relatively close. I would honestly take an alternate spread here of at least 6.5 if that's not what the spread's at. I think Ravens win by at least a touchdown here. That Ravens defense is a lot better than it was last year, man. I know the Bills thrashed them in week 1, but that was a fourth quarter collapse by the Ravens, in all honesty, because aside from that fourth quarter, they looked great defensively week 1. They looked great defensively against Joe Flacco and the Browns. I love that safety duo. I mean, and I just think Goff's going to struggle in primetime.
The Ravens are at -5.5. That is the current spread right now.
Yeah, so you know what? I'll bump it up. I'd take them at -9.5. I think by a touchdown and a field goal, they'll win.
I hope that game, man, I just hope the Ravens don't kill them, I'll be honest, because I could see it. I could see it happening. And that over-under is, I'm pretty sure. Let me make sure real quick. Yeah, highest of the week, 51.5. I think it's going to be, that's a lot, man. That's a lot.
I can see it going over there.
Dude, I hope so. It's just I'm very confident in the Ravens this week. I really do think what you said was perfect. Their defense looks so much better this year, which is so scary because they looked good last year.
For real, man. But before we wrap it up, as always, just want to say NFL hot takes for week 3. Leave them down below. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever your hot take is from this weekend of football. Let us know below. We'll review it on next week's episode. But other than that, man, do you have any closing remarks you want to add?
Cam Ward, I feel sorry for you. Danny Dimes, show out again. That is it. That is it.
We'll
Dropping the
see.
mic.
We'll see. But that's going to do it from us from the Gridiron Network here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're still paying attention, leave a like on the video wherever you're listening at. Comment down below your hot take, and we will see you guys in the next one.